I mean, I was real impressed. I texted him after the game. That was one of his best coaching jobs. I mean, they're their third quarterback in. And a team finds a way, a defense play their best game against a top 20 offense, and they win, and they don't get rewarded. I think that's a bad look for football. I was real disappointed personally. I'm kind of one of those old school, high school guys, worked my way up. And, not that I'm a Florida State fan by any means. I'm a Mike fan, but I just don't think it's good for football. You know.
Hey, welcome back. Football Monday, North Florida Sports Network. December 11th, 2023. That was Gus Malzahn being asked about Florida State being left out of the playoff. Man, you know, it's not good, man. It's not good. But we move on. We're still trying to make sense of it. We got some NFL action to talk about, some recruiting nuggets to go over. It's that time of year for transfer portal speculation, rumors, money, bags, kids trying to get more money.
You say bags?
Yeah, it's big.
First of all, Big Time Nole here. I ain't moving on from shit.
Yeah. Well, that's right. We wanted to bring you on.
I'm staying on the snubbing.
Well, we wanted to bring
until I get some resolve.
We got Big Time Nole with us today. We're gonna check on him, make sure that he's doing okay after it's been 8 days.
Nope. Sounds like he might not be doing okay.
No, it sounds like he might not be. Let's get right into it, man. It's not getting any easier to deal with, is it?
It's actually getting harder for me.
Yeah.
It's actually getting harder. I don't understand. Time doesn't heal shit. I need justice. Justice will heal my pain.
It feels really bad if you're, a fan. It's not right. I agree totally with what Gus Malzahn was saying. I think most coaches do. I don't know.
Every coach does. The head coaching, not just head coaches, all coaches, the flagpole's at half-mast until we get this thing straightened out. You know what I would like to see? Ron DeSantis, our governor, has offered $1 million, to a lawsuit. I just want to get a lawsuit, and I want to go in there. I'm sure they've already deleted thousands of emails that have come from the big wigs and the corporations.
Uh-oh.
But I just want to see this paper trail of them being forced into their decision. I know it's there somewhere.
Well, I mean,
let's get some lawyers.
You saw it on there.
Let's get it
it's just a TV show, and they told you that right there.
I
to
go
your
back
face.
to Mike Leach.
I haven't seen that TV show one time this year. I
Well,
want to see the emails from the bigwigs in the corporations to those guys on the committee.
Well, I would.
There's no emails,
You're
man.
not going to see that.
Just go over to each other's house for dinner.
Yeah, there's dinner. That's right. What he told you it was.
We can
Mike Leach told you what it was.
All it takes is a lawsuit.
We'll go
sit on a golf course.
Yeah, we'll talk about it because we know.
Nice resort.
We know because they tell us.
Yeah.
They're the ones who invited us and hired us to do this job. And all they do is have these programs on and pretty much tell you what you should do. I mean, and then you have a guy like Paul Feinbaum saying that, it's probably, they probably are, people in power are probably upset with that Florida State said they needed to leave the ACC. What's that about? That should have nothing to do with it. Why are you even bringing that up? That's what they do. It's all The Bachelor. It's all about that. I mean,
this makes me not want to leave the ACC because then we're just playing right. We're playing right into their hand. We're doing exactly what they want.
Well, yeah, you're going to go to someone else's hand.
Why don't we stay in the ACC? 12 teams.
Because you're in their hand.
There's no way they can justify leaving us out next year.
Well, if you win the ACC, you'll get an automatic bid. But that's
you don't think we're winning the ACC next year?
I'm just saying it's still the new argument will be that's the only way you'll get in every year. And you go here to the SEC.
You can get 9-3 and get in the playoffs, man.
Doesn't like that. That's what they're. So Florida State needs to get in one of those conferences. They need to get because they just showed you why. You need to have more opportunities.
If we win the ACC, we're in next year.
Yeah, but
that's the only way.
That's the only way.
Well, we won.
You want to have the most opportunities.
So you just want to just play right in their hand. Do exactly
well, you want to have more money to pay the players.
No. I want justice.
Well, you're not going to get it.
There's
not ever going to be any.
You're not going to get it, man.
Any admission of.
No one's going to admit it because they put it in the rules, man. They put it in the bylaws that they could use whatever they want. They put, hey, if there's injuries, if there's anything, and they said best.
That.
So,
but
like, your email trail is not going to prove anything.
Pressured. Yes, it will. It'll
prove that we something what we already know.
But, no, they haven't said that. I know one person say that.
They said that they left Jordan Travis. It was a Jordan travesty.
No, I coined that phrase.
There you go.
Shit.
You stay in the ACC. You stay in the ESPN's second-rate network.
They still control you. I think the FSU wants to get out.
Yeah. College football needs to get out of the control of that.
Well, it's a TV show, and until they get some sort of collective bargaining agreement,
Liv just paid John Rahm $600 million. Maybe we can get a live college football going on over here.
You gotta let it out, man. So, what do you think about the Orange Bowl, Big Time Nole?
I think it's a great accomplishment. I want to win it more than anything.
Well, it's a sham. Well, I mean, it's not a sham, but
I'm sure there's a lot of players on Florida State's team that want to win the game.
That didn't play a lot this year.
Yeah, maybe. There may be some starters that still really want to win the game.
Oh, I'm sure everybody wants to win the game.
Well,
but that would be you talk about giving right back into what they're offering you is to get denied and then go play in their Orange Bowl game. So that's what I was saying. Don't play in the game.
It's also another chance to play football.
The players.
Yeah.
If they wanted to, I would support them.
It's 100% up to the players.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. But if they don't want to play in it,
money's involved. It's more than just not playing a football game.
Pay them anyway. Then use that fund.
Well,
whatever they were going to get for getting the playoff.
Show up, get all the packages, get all your shit, get on the field, and then walk off once they blow the whistle.
Right. That's fine. I don't care how they do it.
And protest. That would actually be kind of cool.
It doesn't matter, regardless if they play it or not. They already ruined it.
I want 14. I want Tate Rodemaker to look like a stud.
I know, but anybody that's going to be like, oh, look, see, doesn't know what they're talking about.
Oh, they're just gonna be like, oh, well, Georgia didn't play any of the guys.
Because if it was the four best teams, Georgia would still be favored over anybody in the country. That's what they don't want to tell you.
So I listened to a Vegas odds maker who still does it currently, and he said that Georgia would have been a 10-point or 8. No, he said 8 to 10 point favorite over Washington. Ohio State would have been a touchdown favorite over Washington.
Yeah. So why play the game? Why play the game? You know
exactly. Why? What's the point? You want to crown them? Crown the.
It's a real bad look for the sport. It really is.
Bad.
And they legally they wrote it in there when they did this committee. You know, Florida State saw this coming 10 years ago when they put 2 one-loss teams ahead of them with an undefeated record. You know, didn't look good enough. So you saw this coming, and they hit it.
I didn't see it coming.
You know,
I was blindsided.
I didn't.
100% blindsided. I never thought this would happen to anyone who goes undefeated, unless there are more than 4.
Right.
If there was an undefeated from every Power 5, and then I could see one getting left. That's the only way. I don't care if it was Oregon
I want to
State.
know. Yeah. So I want to know if Georgia would have won. Would they have put Texas still in over Florida State?
I don't think so.
Right. So what the hell? Why did they do?
I think they had scenarios mapped
it's so
up for
messed up. And what they don't talk about.
I think they would have. I think they had this.
It would have been too easy and clean to just say, all right, all undefeated conference winners are going. Mm-hmm. There's 4 that are there's 1 that's not. It had everything to do with the SEC and the SEC's spot.
Right.
We need Alabama and Texas to lose.
That goes to show you
so bad
that it was, because if they would have put Florida State, I would not like to see if they would have put a 1-loss Texas in with 3 other undefeated teams. because that's what they claim when they put Texas at 3.
At 3, yeah.
So you're saying if Georgia beats Alabama,
Georgia should have been over Texas logically.
well, it doesn't make any sense. None of it does. And and they want to bring the first game or whatever, and they're a different team. I hear Reese Davis saying, they're the different team that accumulated the record because Jordan Travis was on there. Well, Alabama was a different team when they lost the game with the same quarterback. He had to
Alabama
get benched.
scored 17
He had to get
points on
benched.
USF.
Right. He had to get benched to do that. So that's the team Texas beat. That's not the team. Texas didn't beat this team that Alabama is now.
Tate Rodemaker went into the swamp.
So why is Texas?
Over 20 points in
why
a
is
W.
Texas getting so rewarded for that win that happened in week 2?
Because they beat the team that beat Georgia.
Right. And they just had to fit their scenario.
If Alabama loses to Georgia, then Texas's win over Alabama isn't
right, but it
isn't anything anymore.
But the fact it was different, and then when you're doing all that, you got to go off the record, man. You got to go off the undefeated record.
I get it. I'm just saying when they
that's why coaches are trying to like anybody that's knows what they're. It just you can't fathom it. It's not right. It's not right to the sport. There's nothing that they did.
Politics. We're in politics now.
Right. I mean, you could see the NFL like going this, but you'd like, well, at least they'll play it on the field. Yeah. It like really
never happened.
But you see the Bengals, like with Joe Burrow's out, they're not going to do anything
because Jake Browning's quarterback.
Because this guy's quarterback. But look what he's doing,
smoking people.
Right. So I guess that's why did they even play?
So I was explaining this to somebody. So you remember that boxing match that just happened recently with Tyson Fury and the MMA guy who just came in, and everyone said that the MMA guy beat him, but he lost in a decision. But you understand, if the MMA guy in his very first ever pro boxing match would have beat the heavyweight champ, like how bad that would look. It's kind of like that's how they felt about not having the SEC. Right. It's like that's their heavyweight.
Well, they should have left Texas out. That's that's.
Well, then they could have.
They could have justified what that justification would have been. It's better than leaving Florida State out as undefeated. At least Texas lost to Oklahoma, and you can. And I would say
you can't have people judging college football.
Well, they never can.
We win the game. The game's over.
Right.
We're 13-0. Like we don't have a loss. It's that simple.
No, and you didn't account for the.
I think it's pretty clear that they don't really watch any of the games.
No.
They just look at.
They just get emails from the big wigs and the corporations.
Well, I'll show you how that story was going in the first half of Louisville. There are all those people that think that Florida State is not the same team.
Well, they're not the same offense.
Right.
We have a way better
defense. The defense is getting better, and can't assume
special teams.
Yeah,
lights out. Insane returner, Keon County. One of the best kickers nominated for that was a Lou Grozier Award.
Yeah,
and one of the best punters in the country.
Yeah, well,
we are a 3-sided monster.
So this is something that.
And Tate Rodemaker is going to toss that thing all over Georgia. Wait. He's a Georgia boy, baby. Bazemore Stadium, Valdosta.
Yeah, well, it's the what if, what could have been, what should have been. That's what
I do like the time of that Orange Bowl, 4 p.m.
That'd be perfect
5
time.
p.m.
What the nightmare
Take
of this
nice nap.
is it's about to be that season. I'm sure fans will now go to what are they? A lot of fans want to go. What is the worst thing that could happen, Jimmy? And like what you could say is that you could lose out on recruits. There's probably people coming in, negative recruiting against your players, using this to say, hey, why you don't want to go there?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
easy, bro.
Number one, if it was staying a 14 playoff, then yeah,
we'd be in a lot of trouble. But the fact that it's 12 next year.
And nobody's seen what a 12-team playoff is going to look like. Now, after a year or two of the SEC and the Big Ten getting 10 teams in respectively, like between the two of them.
I think they've showed you.
Like then, if we're still in the ACC, that'll be a thing. But I don't think that's as much. The snub is not really impacting high school recruits, kids thinking about transferring, as much as it is just the current roster.
Right.
Dude, Norvell has built such a culture here that dudes are going to want to come play, man. It's that simple.
Right.
Yeah. I really think that the biggest thing this is doing in the long run is just going to hasten Florida State's maneuver here to get out of the ACC.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of if.
Yeah,
anymore.
it's happening.
They're pissed, man. They're pissed. I whether it's just conspiracy theory or anything like that, like they feel slighted that this happened and they had two people representing the ACC that aren't supposed. I understand that they're not supposed to be any bias from anybody, but that's just ridiculous.
Doesn't need to be a bias to get it right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call common sense a bias, but
exactly. And you expect somebody to stand up there and point out the fact that, maybe they're a different offense.
Right.
They didn't lose. Their defense looks better week to week.
We owe it to the game to give them a shot.
But it was
so
just.
You're trying to tell me that injury is written into that thing?
Yeah.
Key player.
Oh my God.
If they're going to be without a key player
They killed it 10 years ago. It just luckily for them and unluckily for Florida State is that the perfect storm for them.
A good thing when Drew Bledsoe went down, the Patriots didn't have that written in for Tom Brady.
Right. It's ridiculous.
Imagine that.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's what I agree with. That's why we started with Gus Malzahn.
That Steve Young guy really sucked, man.
And because I think it is a bad look for football, man. It's such a bad look, man. It's such a bad look for the sport, what he teaches, and a sport that already has that already has the head injury thing, everything else. You go ahead and do this. You're going to fight the concussion movie, and and now you have corporations or you have TV shows that are going to be the highest rated game ever. Well. Are you going to watch that Roosevelt game?
It's not just football, man. It's not just football.
Playoffs, that's it.
This is bad for all of college everything.
It's bad for college sport, yeah.
It's bad for society, bro.
They just showed you that it really doesn't matter what you do on the field.
Nope.
Nah. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
And that what they showed more than anything was the dumbest possible way of deciding things is what the college football playoff has been up to this point.
It really is, man. If it was so smart, why isn't anybody doing it? Yeah. I guess you're doing it in basketball, but they do 64 teams or 68 now.
Why don't they just keep the BCS and take the top 4 teams?
Well, it's because they can't control the narrative of a computer.
Oh, I know why.
Yeah.
Right, because God forbid the computer tell the SEC to go
the head-to-head
smile
thing,
and sit this
one out.
The
head-to-head thing wasn't, because you would say that Florida State got they used to nickname it the Bowden Championship Series.
Bro, we probably would have been number 1 in the BCS. Strength of record, number 3, number 6 scoring defense.
But what I would say is that when it comes to selecting 4 or 12, that's the way to do it. Well, if you're doing 2, I don't know. You could get a situation like 2000, and I think Miami probably should have went over Florida State.
Or, do that's something fair. Sensible. Like,
but still you're arguing over teams that lost.
They beat us, right?
Yeah, they beat us. And that's kind of, that would be the huge argument.
Man.
And that's like, I guess that's the one. That's why Texas was automatically in.
96 though, when we beat Florida and then had to replay them. Oh,
yeah, and they were
brutal.
Yeah, that was, and that was the Bowl Alliance where you had conferences. If you win this conference, you go to this bowl no matter what. And Arizona State was undefeated that year, and they went to the Rose Bowl rather than play Florida State. And Florida State would have beat Arizona State that year.
Oh man!
So that nice. Yeah, Florida. I mean, whatever, man. They've never been undefeated. Florida's never done that. There's teams in the SEC that have.
Georgia, Auburn. 2 straight years. Oh wait, no, Georgia lost that first year, didn't they?
Yeah, it's hard to go undefeated.
14-1,
in
then
any conference.
15-0, right?
How many undefeated Power 5 I mean, it's hard to do it.
Well, we've done it 4 times, so I don't know. It's not that hard for us, but we are Florida fucking State.
Well, my whole thing is like that. You said it right there, Power 5. So how smart is it if you have 5 conferences that are going to be quote unquote power conferences to only have 4 spots in your little playoff?
It was a way that they could automatically get in.
Because the Pac-12 should be left out.
The SEC is the best, and we need to get in every year because our teams, even if they lose 2, are better. So we need to have it in there. We can make that decision if we want, and they just did.
Bro, I don't even think Alabama would score a point on our defense. They can only put up 16 or 17 on
We'll
USF.
never know, man. That's the sad.
Trouble.
That's the sad.
They're going to be in trouble with Verse running after him and Fiske.
Well, yeah, I doubt those guys are even going to play.
Yeah, we're not playing Alabama, so it's fine.
Yeah. What else is going on in transfer portal? Well, hold on a second. What about the transfer portal, man? Portal combat! Let's talk about quarterbacks. Let's talk about transfer quarterbacks. And I think the biggest names are Cam Ward and DJ Uwe.
Yeah.
Right?
Nothing really changed there. I mean, they're going after Ward.
Okay.
Did you say another quarterback named C. Ward at Florida State?
Yeah.
Ooh, I kind of like the way that sounds.
And it,
His first name's not Charlie, is it?
No,
Cam.
it's Cam.
Oh.
Cam.
All right. That's a tight name.
That seems to be the top guy for a number of schools. I think he'll probably decide here.
He transferred from Washington State from where, Jimmy?
Incarnate Word.
Okay.
Yeah. So he'll have 1 year left, man.
Is where?
It's in. I believe it's somewhere in Texas, dude. I don't know.
Okay.
Tiny school. I would say that DJ is probably. I don't
want DJ.
Why?
Because I don't want him.
Okay.
He went to Clemson for 1. He's not good for 2. I've seen him fucking play. Like, he's not good.
He had his best. He played really well.
And I
Florida
think it's
State
going to piss off Tate. And I think it's going to, what do you have, 200 yards? And it's going to piss off Tate Rodemaker.
Yeah.
Well, if they're looking for transfer, I don't think they plan on wanting to start Tate Rodemaker. So if he's upset,
well, listen,
he can go down the road.
Let him battle it out for a starting job.
Sure.
He's stuck with us this whole time.
Yes, he can. He will battle it out.
He went to
but
the swamp and won in the swamp to save a perfect season and to make him go bowl ineligible.
Right.
Dude's a legend.
Well, I wish they would have given him a chance.
Yeah,
well,
that's another sad part because if he comes by, you didn't give him a chance to play in the playoff. You robbed the team from their chance to prove stuff on the field. That's what you did. You took it out of their hands.
And he may, maybe he sticks.
And what if you do? What if he comes back and plays better in those playoffs? You pretty much solidify your position next year. Now, what you kind of Florida State's looking to upgrade, and that's the name of the game. You're always looking to upgrade the positions on a year-to-year basis. Teams and rosters are going to be formed annually.
Well, yeah, I mean, we need a 4th quarterback on the roster for sure.
Yeah, but they're going after.
I mean,
they're going after a guy that's going to play.
Last game when we had our 3rd.
They're going after a guy to start for a year.
They like what they got in Glenn and Luke, but they want to bring in a guy that's going to start.
Well,
so
either way, I'd like to see a nice heated quarterback battle all off season.
Yeah, I mean it'd be nice. I mean,
competition breeds greatness.
Are you sure it's just not going to be a bunch of just griping over what they did? Because it's going to be hard.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how this fan base is going to take this over time. I don't know. It's going to be tough, and I don't think anybody should forget it.
Nobody's going to forget it.
Because that team's already broken up. They're not going to get a chance to play again. That's why I think that they shouldn't play in the game, to honor themselves, not to give in to that bullcrap narrative that you're not good enough, because you are. But yeah, we understand that you need to go look out for yourself and do what's best for you now, because they just told you that everything we did wasn't good enough, but we're going to tell you it is, and we're just done. you guys said it's over, so we're out 13-0.
Yeah.
So I get it though. But if they want to play. Like if all the guys that are still on the roster vote to play, then yeah, you play. But if they don't and they feel dissed and they want to do that, by all means, do it. Give them whatever you would have given them if they would have made the playoff. Give all that stuff, all the incentives or whatever. That's what I would do.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to tell the kids and everybody that they're not going to get what they would have got.
I know I said it last COD, but if my son was on this team, I'd be knocking on some doors. Nothing violent, just give him a piece of my mind and let him know.
Right. Well, it's when they wrote it in there, it was just funny. And I was in denial the whole way because you think that someone's going to go in there and be like, hold on, guys.
I don't even think I was in denial. I just didn't even think it was possible.
Right,
bro.
right.
I mean,
well,
I didn't even cross my
even
mind.
the people that were...
I laughed at people when they said that.
Even the people that were pushing it were surprised when it happened. They were like, whoa, I didn't think they were actually going to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
that was the initial reaction. And that's because you put a lot into the game yourself and deep down inside that something that wasn't right. What they did was a bad look for college football, just like we started the show with. And they have the NFL now. So how did the NFL? We got the Dolphins playing tonight, Monday Night Football.
Oh,
Dolphins
are
up for the
baby.
1 seed.
So let me just say something.
The Chiefs.
Big Time Nole here. Mike Norvell, Coach of the Year in college.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel, Coach of the Year in the NFL. Boom.
Mike Norvell did a great job. That
Amazing
job he did against Louisville might have been his best job.
Definitely. Florida
the whole coaching staff, yeah, they really stepped up. The players stepped up, and they were punished for it instead of being rewarded like they should have been. You got the Chiefs. Did you watch the end of that game? Former Gator receiver Tony and Kadarius Tony.
Yeah.
Lined up a yard off sides, man.
Well, he did. Yeah, he just didn't check
and
with the
then
ref.
I know Mahomes is mad, man, but you got to be mad at your guy, man, for being like.
Sure, he is.
He is, but like, dude, that's an obvious one. You point, and if you point to the official, and he'll be like thumbs up, and if you are offside, he'll be like, hey, back up a little bit. He won't throw it then, and you just
I'll say this, and I'm not really a big Pat Mahomes, fan. Like, I don't cape for Pat Mahomes, but his on field, he was not afforded the opportunity of seeing it on TV.
Right.
So he just had the player's perspective.
Exactly.
Now,
and it didn't really matter.
If he went back to the locker room and saw it on the
play.
TV and saw how blatantly in the neutral zone Tony was and still came out talking that crybaby shit.
He must have not seen it, though, right?
But he went back and changed and did it.
Yeah.
So he was upset.
Yeah.
And maybe he was talking to the receiver through that.
And also maybe
because they do lead the league in
his
drops.
front office because they have such a bum receiver core. Like, all you got is
man, because what a play, man! And Swift was in that. Swift was in the house, man.
Yeah,
that was an awesome play.
She celebrated a little too early there, didn't she?
That was still, but that was an. I mean, I don't
sit down. The game.
She didn't. I mean, she's probably like, what? What happened? I just saw it.
She doesn't know the rules of football, so she's like, "Wait, you can do that?"
Yeah, that doesn't. So a lot of people were like, "What? That's a stupid rule." There's going to be a lot of people that don't know football. But it was a great play, though, man. It really was. To do that, just to sling it. That's the next evolution of football. I feel like someone starting to use a lateral pass like this. You coaches are already you got to think Mike McDaniel.
Football, bro. We've been doing that in flag.
I know.
Forever,
flag football is an Olympic event now.
Throwback, son. Throwback.
All right, let's do a little NFL MVP discussion real quick. We got the Dolphins tonight. I think Tyreek Hill needs to be mentioned for MVP. Tua's in the conversation. Yeah, Tua, he is.
I don't know why.
Got to put Brock Purdy in there.
I don't know why you guys are acting
for sure Brock Purdy's in there, bro.
Anybody other than Dak if they keep winning.
And Dak, he put himself in there, and he's been doing really well at home.
The only thing that matters is they win.
Right. They have to win.
If the Cowboys quarterback is putting up those numbers and they keep winning, they're going to give it to him. It's a given. It's a given.
I don't know. We'll
Now,
see.
I don't think they're going to keep winning.
Well, they're tied now in the division, but if the Eagles win out, they'll still get the tiebreaker. So the Cowboys still need help from the Eagles.
Yeah.
And I think the Niners, the way they look right now, and the numbers, man, I'm telling you, man, Brock Purdy.
Yeah, we'll see.
Wow.
They play the Ravens.
The last pick in the draft.
Play the Ravens in 2
Brian
weeks.
Greasy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I got this guy. I was watching this guy doing college games.
That guy has, yeah.
Hmm.
He's going to be up for another coaching job probably.
Hey, would Purdy still be on our roster? Would he have played
Chubba?
Would he have played against Florida?
Chubba Purdy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would
He
have been
was
on our
young.
roster, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
When was that when he left? I can't even remember.
It was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, he was just a late take. Norvell just
That's like me and my brother, bro. There can only be one absolute stud in the family, and it's me. Sorry, Rob.
yeah, and I mean honestly, dude,
Some guys just got to get cut.
Chuba was the guy that had all the athletic talent, man.
Man, did you see that run against Wisconsin?
I did not because it's Nebraska and Wisconsin.
Yeah, it looked really fast.
Of course he did. He's playing against Wisconsin, man.
I missed that
He really
one.
did,
I missed
man.
that
He
one.
really did.
Nobody looks fast when negative 14 degrees, man.
We had to go.
Well, that's our
Well,
that's
it's a
our
beautiful
ride.
day in North Florida.
We got to get on out of here, but we got a couple minutes before we go.
Too cold.
All
man.
right. Well, to all my
So you're not
all
watching the
my-
playoff. You're not.
Absolutely not.
Why would you?
Colin Cowherd
Absolutely
said it's
not.
going to be the highest rated playoff game ever.
Sweet.
Wrong. Absolutely
Until
wrong.
next year.
Too
Like,
many scorned fans.
you mean a media record got broken? Every single year it tops itself.
That game might, just because the names, but I look for that game to be kind of boring. The
Florida
Alabama,
State-
Michigan.
Florida State had some of the most watched games all year.
Oh, I think Florida State deserved the
If
right.
not the
man.
most watched
And that
game.
defense deserved the right. That was really impressive performance. Legendary performance that I hope
Oh yeah,
is not.
all time.
It really was. It really was.
All-time
They stepped
performance.
up, and that was a really good Louisville offense, a really good Louisville coach who does not get held down. He's like a surgeon. He's going to figure out how to get some points eventually, and you completely shut him down and got punished for it. I'm still
it's crazy,
getting mad.
man.
Yeah.
It really is. It's unfathomable.
Yeah, it really is.
is. Like,
You know,
it
if
hasn't
you-
even sunk into it yet.
You go back and you were like, hey, you're like 2 years ago, hey, you guys are going to go undefeated. You're going to go 13-0, and you're going to finish 5th at Florida State.
You're going to be playing Georgia.
Who,
When we beat
went 6.
Georgia and go 14-0,
It's
where do
such
you
the-
think they're going to rank us?
man,
6.
yeah,
Yes.
I don't
Oh, you
care.
guys won again? Oh, you're dropping.
The fact
Come
that
on,
they
what are you
did
doing?
that, they put
You
Florida
don't
State
even have
5th,
one
and-
quality loss on your whole. Oh yeah.
like
you
I
guys
said,
are
Florida,
dropping.
Georgia is one of the 4 best teams in by your criteria.
Oh,
By your criteria, then.
by Vegas odds.
So
they're the
what are we doing here? What are we doing here? It's a sham. You reward the teams that you want to reward. So you got to let the records happen, man. You can't do what they did, man. And that's why coaches are feeling they should have the flags up at half-mast. That's why we started the
Right.
show with what Gail
That's right.
Smalzahn said. That's why Mike Leach, we started
Mike Leach
yesterday's
said it
show
all,
with that. Yeah, he told us
2017,
all what it was
Mike
going to be.
Leach.
So we got a long
called it,
way to
bro.
get over
He
this.
called it.
We got a lot of games. We got Celebration Bowl this week. And so we'll do that, and we'll watch them and react to them, and we'll talk to you next time right here on the North Florida Sports Network.
We had to go. Our ride was here. We got a shuttle